Attention please. This uploading is only for educational purpose. No intention to infringe copyrights. Learning English with subtitles. GPITRAL. Follow us.
You're about to witness reenactments of real encounters with terrifying monsters, aliens, and other mysterious creatures.
A goat man attacks a couple parked on Lover's Lane.
He was a nocturnal beast. There was fear in our hearts. We knew this thing was real, and he would kill us in a minute.
Zombie soldiers on the move.
I thought, wow, am I really seeing that? It was like having a bad dream that you couldn't wake up from, and it just wouldn't stop.
The notorious Chupacabra caught on video.
It's running and it's creepy and my adrenaline goes up. So I'm looking at this thing and I realize this is a Chupacabra.
And for the first time ever, solid physical evidence, an actual body recovered.
I have it right there, 2 feet in front of me. The excitement was overwhelming. I will never forget that day, ever.
Caption: Monsters and Mysteries, Goat Man, Goat Sucker, and Zombie Soldiers. Audio described by Therese Birch.
In central Texas sits the small community of Lake Worth. Some 4,000 year-round residents live along the wooded banks of the lake. One of them is rumored to be a monster.
Caption: Lake Worth Monster.
Tourists and locals once flocked to the lake and its beaches as a summer paradise.
Casino Beach was established in around 1920, and through the 20s, 30s, 40s, this area was the premier area to come to.
By the late 1950s, Casino Beach was no longer what it was. The lake, contaminated from chemical runoff from aircraft factories nearby. Greer Island, in the middle of the lake, a rehabilitation farm for recovering addicts. Then, a series of strange occurrences.
I would hear these stories of things being stolen from cars, food items, and we would try to explain it away as well. The rehabilitation farm is just down the road a couple of miles, and the winos come and go pretty regularly out of there. Maybe they're just looking for food. The problem with that was when the rehabilitation farm shut down and some of those thefts continued, then it became a little more difficult to explain.
A shadowy figure walks away from a pickup truck.
By the summer of 1969, the stories became all too real. While much of America was caught up in the excitement of Woodstock and the moon landing, a bizarre attack on a young couple out at Lake Worth's Lover's Lane would focus the town's attention on a monster.
Reenactment. A young man tunes the radio in his car, then starts to cuddle his girlfriend while they are parked in a wooded area. Something seems to be watching them from a hiding place in the bushes. The girl suddenly turns away from her boyfriend, looking as if she's heard something.
What was that?
What was what?
There's somebody here.
No, there's nothing. Come on, Al.
There's somebody here.
Come on, Al.
They both look at the bushes.
What the hell?
A figure passes behind them. The car rocks.
What the hell was that?
Something reaches in the girl's side of the car. An elderly man sits on a bench playing guitar.
Local musician Bill Morris remembers that night like it was just the other day. He had a front row seat when it all began.
Growing up, I heard many stories about many other spooky things that happened out there at Greer Island and in Lake Worth. And I got very interested in it, and I wanted to know more.
Reenactment. A waitress serves young Bill chocolate cake.
Didn't you get anything better to do on a Saturday night?
Eat cake. Nothing to do around here anyway.
Sorry.
The night of the monster's attack, out at Lover's Lane, Bill was killing time at the local diner.
The young couple drive up to the diner where a policeman is smoking.
It was about 12:30 at night, and I saw this car come speeding down the road, and it pulled in the parking lot. The guy was real excited. He was moving his arms around, and he's practically in tears, you know, and he was scared.
You have to get out to Greer Island. There's something going on. There's something horrible going on.
Calm down, partner. You said what? Where?
He told the police, get out to Greer Island. There's something very horrible happening. He told the police that he was parked out there, and this thing swung out of the trees and landed on top of the car.
Bam! Like right on top. And it reached into the passenger side. It grabbed her.
This thing started reaching in the window and trying to grab her arm. He got real scared and started the car up and drove off real quick.
My shirt is torn. It was hairy.
I mean, it was like something out of the Black Lagoon.
Bill, who's been watching, leaves the diner.
Seeing the fear in their eyes firsthand, Bill wasn't sure what to believe.
I laughed it off at first, and I thought, no. But so many people kept talking about it, and it kept on my mind that, hey, there could be something real that was going on out there.
What was out there? Nobody really knew for sure. There were whispers about a strange hybrid creature, half man, half goat.
It was described between 6 and 7 feet tall, covered with hair.
Weighing between 300 and 400 pounds. It was also described as having other monstrous features on occasion, such as a scaly face and maybe a horn. It was often called the Mud Man or the Goat Man, as well as the Lake Worth Monster.
A shadowy figure with a clawed hand and an animal's head. Moonlight on dark water, a radio balanced on a tree stump. A clearing in the woods.
A week after the diner incident, Bill, his cousin, and 2 local girls decided to go party near an old cemetery above the lake.
It's about 1 o'clock in the morning. We went up there thinking we'd see what was going on and just have a good time. And these armadillos were running everywhere, and we took BB guns and started popping a few of them.
All the shooting seems to have unsettled something in the woods.
What was that? Did you hear that? Turn that off.
One of the party turns off the radio.
Did you guys hear that?
Someone picks up a torch.
We had our flashlights, and we heard this kind of sound in the trees. It was scary, really. And I know the girls, they were very much afraid. Then all of a sudden, I saw shadows, I saw movements. It was bipedal, it was standing up on 2 legs. We didn't know what to think, you know. We thought it was a bear. It was not a bear. And then rocks started to come.
Large rocks fly out of the darkness towards the teenagers.
There was fear in our hearts at that point because we knew this thing was real and he would kill us in a minute. It had to be the Lake Worth Monster.
What the hell is that?
Well, the girls were screaming good and loud, and we got to get out of here. And they ran, and we ran after them. We had to leave there quick, and we did.
Bill's experience was just one of many reported over that summer of 1969.
The monster's clawed hand.
While everybody else was celebrating peace and love, something really scary was happening here in Fort Worth, Texas. It was a nightmare for the whole city.
Questions were raised. How could a goat man with fur and scales possibly come to be? And why Lake Worth?
There were always some people who thought that the defense plant and the Superfund chemical sites here may have created a monster in some way, or may have added to some animal out here morphing into a monster. That was just another part of our 60s suspicion.
A full moon.
Curiosity about the monster was running rampant.
I don't know if we should be here.
It's fine. Just park it right here.
One warm night, not long after the sightings began, locals started gathering at a gravel pit to check things out for themselves.
Everyone was showing up out here with cameras and guns and just doing everything they could to spot this creature. Of course, there was the fear. What was it, and would it harm somebody?
One couple almost didn't get away.
The monster is behind the young couple's car.
This car, the back end of it had been pulled out into the lake. The dirt man had come up there and picked it up and pulled it out there by himself out into that water.
They were scared for their lives.
Monsters and mysteries